The Cleveland housing market isn't doing what you think it's doing. It's not crashing, it's not exploding. And if you are making decisions based on just what you're reading online, you're probably doing it wrong. So let me break down with real numbers what is happening. In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what is happening currently in Northeast Ohio housing market. We're going to take a look at different things like the inventory levels across Cuyahoga, Lorain, Summit, Medina County. We're going to take a deeper look at, projected home values for specific areas that are throughout the counties. And we're also going to be getting into those good old mortgage rates to see what those currently are at. What's going on? Anthony Esposito with eXp Realty, your local expert right here in the Cleveland, Ohio area. If you want this exact breakdown so you can take a look at the numbers for yourself and kind of compare and get yourself ready for a possible move that you may be having, all you got to do is just put report in the comments for free and I'll send this right over to you. Here we are. It's kind of hard to believe that we are already 1 month in to 2026. So how exactly do you need to look at this? The big thing is that understanding the metrics is essential to make your decision. And we're not just this just isn't numbers. This is going to be indicators for the market momentum, buyer behavior, and your opportunity. Now we are going to look at the hard data of stuff, median sold price, value, projections, all sorts of good stuff that is coming up. But just remember that this is not an appraisal of any sort. This is not true value of your specific situation, your home, if you own a home. This is just breaking down the numbers so you are aware, because having the knowledge in this is what is going to help you win, especially with spring right around the corner. Next month, March, is the historical most new active listings to hit the market. So we are about ready to start really heating things up here, and it's going to be great. But to kick it off, let's start with looking at the mortgage rates that are out there. Yes, they are still low. Yes, they ticked up a little bit. Are they going to be below 6 for a 30-year conventional? They're still saying by springtime we could possibly see that. So we'll kind of see what happens coming up with the next couple months here. But I think it's going to be basically around 6%. Currently, it's at a 6.17%. The 30-year jumbo is at a 6.35%. 30-year FHA is 5.81%. And if you are a veteran, you're at 5.83% for this. Just keep in mind, this is from Mortgage News Daily. This is a national level. Your rate is going to be based on your situation. Some of the stuff that impacts it is going to be credit score, your income verification, down payment amount, and the specific loan program that you may be going for. And it could be better than what you see here. There's buy downs that are involved. It could be higher. It just, the best thing that I can tell you to do is speak with a local mortgage lender. If you don't have one, I can provide you with a few different ones that you can look into. When they do the soft pull, it doesn't even hurt your credit. You don't get your credit dinged until they do the hard pull down the line. And that's typically when, you're essentially closing on a house, getting ready for that. Now, as we look at Cuyahoga County, so we're going to look at the market activity, the pricing snapshot, value trends for counties, and then some select cities. Currently, right now, there's 1,503 homes active for Cuyahoga County. There were 610 homes that sold last month, and there's roughly 2.46 months worth of supply, which is good. It's not great. It's better than the past. The median sold price, $217,697, with a medium list price of $215,000. Now, when we take a look at these values, keep in mind this is the projected increases that we are going to see for the county as a whole. Some cities are going to be less, some cities may be more, but as a whole, the next year, 6.12% value increase is what is projected for Cuyahoga. Over the next 3 years, they're saying about a 20.88% in a increase of value. And this is based on a home that is $262,000. Now, for the market insight of things, long-term property values is what's exceptional in Cuyahoga County. Buyers, yes. If you are a buyer for Cuyahoga County, you have gained more leverage in the short-term negotiations, especially on the homes that are overpriced, that are sitting for a little bit. That is where the big deals do come in. The gap between the list and sold price indicates room for strategic offers. Keep in mind also, as we are moving forward, that there's still the right price homes that are out there. Multiple offers are going in on them. And also keep in mind that there are some where appraisal gaps are starting to surface again. Just understand the full risks to that. Make sure, if I'm not your agent helping you, your agent is giving you the full risks of the appraisal gaps themselves. That is totally your decision, not like end all be all, we have to do this to get a house. That is not the case. Now for Medina County, active listings 154 current, much less than Cuyahoga. 75 sold in the last 30 days. So there was a lot of movement that was happening throughout July, which is an indicator that December had a lot of these homes that went under contract. Now, month supply, we're at 2.05. This isn't the lowest. Now, median sold price, $330,000. Median list price, $399,900. Over the next year, Medina County is expected to go up in value about 3.02%. 3 years, it's only going to be about 15.49%, unlike Cuyahoga's big increase that is projected. And this is based on a home that is $350,260. Now, the property values here, it's going to give you that stability over the long term. That's been the ongoing case in Medina County for quite some time now. And buyers, they are more selective. So you as a buyer, you're typically more selective, price conscious in this area. Why is that? The big reason is that right there is the median pricing is what is driving that, and rightfully so. Now, the big gap that is between it does reveal that pricing strategy does matter more than ever. 100%, no matter what home you are selling. Right now, the way the market is, pricing strategy is everything. Marketing, like the professional photographers, the proper video done to the homes. There is so much that goes into it in order to sell the home within the average days on market. Overpriced listings are still sitting. Well-priced homes, when I say it's serious interest, expect multiple offers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. It just really depends on the price of the home itself. For Lorain County, active listings are 413. 136 sold last month, and their month supply, they're actually the highest right now with a little over 3 months of supply. Sold price median was $254,000. Median list price $274,900. Now on a $292,000 home, over the next year, it's projected to go up 5.09%. 36 months, the next 3 years, 21.75%. Good thing about Lorain County is this offers you as a buyer the most breathing room among the 4 counties that we are looking over. You got over 3 months worth of supply. There's more negotiating opportunities because of it. There's more leverage, especially like depending on the repairs, like how minor they are, you might get a little bit more leverage there. Negotiating closing costs, submitting strategic offers below the asking price. When I say this, just note that every home is different. This is just a overall kind of speech that I am saying here. This is not every single home that is in Lorain County. This is going to be selective of which homes you could actually have this type of power, because we are in this weird, like, this home is going to be more like a buyer's market style home, but then this home is going to be more like a seller's market style. And this one's overpriced, so there is room to come down. This one is underpriced, so there's probably going to be multiples and you got to come up. It varies so much, and that's where the strategy comes into play. Now with Summit County, 589 active listings, 303 were sold last month, and they have the lowest months of supply sitting around that 1.94. The median sold price, $218,250 or $250. Median list price, $195,000. So on a $260,000 house, Summit County is projected to see 4.6% of a value increase over next year and a 16.48% over the next 3 years. So what this is saying is they have tight supply with this 1.94 months of supply that are sitting there. Buyer demand, it does remain robust. Well-priced move-in ready homes are still going very quickly in Summit County. Multiple offers, the same thing that we're seeing across the board for all the counties on these well-priced homes. And just keep in mind that competition's not gone. It's there. It's more selective competition is what is happening. Now to take a look at some cities, and these are going to be ones that are very popular, starting off with the number 6 city in the U.S. of where buyers want to live, Strongsville. And this is a big problem with that being a statistic. Active listings, only 26. That is not a lot of listings for the amount of even people that live in Strongsville. 18 sold in the last month with only a 1.44 months worth of supply. The median sold price, $336,000. Median list price, $364,000. We'll just basically $365,000. Now the 12-month increase in value, you're looking at 3.26% on a home that is basically $378,000. The 3-year increase is going to be projected at a 16.59%. These 3-year value changes, this could vary greatly. We don't know what's going to come down the 3-year mark. This one, on the other hand, there's only one that is coming up here in a moment where I don't know if it's skewed a little bit. I'll get into that when it comes up. But Strongsville, extremely tight supply. This is a very highly competitive market when it comes to Strongsville. Definitely favors the sellers, but only those who price it strategically. The condition, the presentation is huge when it comes to a market that is like this, where buyers have to be extremely selective, but there's not that many. If it's something that's overpriced, if the condition is not like kind of there, it is going to sit on the market a little bit longer. But just keep in mind, if you are buying in Strongsville, you need to act decisively on quality properties while remaining disciplined on the price. Don't throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. You still want to make sure that it comps and everything is on the up and up. Now heading down to Medina City, we got 58 active listings here, 27 sold in the last month with a 2.15 month supply. The median sold price is $384,900. Median list price, $448,800. On a $378,000 home, it's looking about 2.32% over the next year that it's going to bump up, with 13.97% increase projected over the next 3 years. The big thing with Medina City is the long-term appreciation that is still there and has been there for a while when you have almost 14% growth over 3 years. But this substantial gap, there's a couple things that it dictates. One is the recalibration period. where you as a seller have little margin for pricing error. Overprice the listing and it's going to come back to haunt you in the long run. The other thing is that the pricing ranges from 200,000 all the way up into, the millions. So there's a huge range. And when you have limited listings that are active, limited listings that are sold, that can cause this big gap that you're seeing right here as well. But we are still kind of recalibrating here. As a buyer, just make sure you focus on homes that are priced towards the actual market value. And if you're taking out a mortgage, you're only going to pay for what it's worth anyways, unless you do opt in to do an appraisal gap. Now heading over to Avon Lake, another tight market, but highly sought after. 23 active listings, 12 sold in the last month, a 1.92 month worth of supply. Median sold price $347,000. Median list price $483,000. Now, in a $460,000 house, over the next year, you can look at about a 5.53% increase in value. The next 3 years, 20.16% is projected. Just remember that Avon Lake, this is premium market, strong long-term fundamentals, and that, strong appreciation over the next several years. The big gap here between this, the buyers, when you get into a premium market, you are going to be more selective about what you are choosing to purchase, and rightfully so, especially as you are at a higher price point. The pricing swings can be substantial month to month, so keep that in mind. Quality and location is what is really driving the premiums, but the overpricing, huge resistance on this, because there was a home that I was in. It was almost $1 million, and I don't feel that it was worth that just because it was attached to Avon Lake. Others felt the same way. So that is just an example of this. But Avon Lake is very similar to Medina. You could have these lower end homes, well, not lower end homes, but the lower price tag homes, but then there's like a $2 million house, a $3 million house. So that skews it as well. And again, you got 23 active listings, 12 sold in the last 30 months. That's going to cause another big price gap there as well. Now, here's the one that I was talking about, Hudson. Another premium market, but highly sought after. Only 15 active listings, only 6 homes sold last month. You got 2.5 months worth of supply, which is good, but that's just showing that there's a lot of selective choosing when it comes to Hudson. The median sold price, $542,500. Median list price, $549,900. Now, in a $556,000 home, they're actually projecting that there's going to be a negative 1.54% drop for Hudson. I'm curious to find out if that is actually going to be the case or not. Over the next 3 years, they're projecting for a 14.95% increase. So basically 2 years is going to have a dramatic jump compared to what they're saying this year. And that's why I'm kind of skeptical on this one and curious to see what is going to happen. The big thing here to understand of why it's there is the luxury market naturally experiences that long selling cycle is the best way to put it, which can throw stuff off. At higher price points, the strategy, when I say critical, it is critical, like DEFCON 5 critical or DEFCON 1, whichever one's more critical. You got to have proper pricing, staging, marketing. Everything is the huge difference when it comes to a city like this. Now, if we take a look at the county comparison, just at a quick glance, month supplies, it reveals the competitive landscape for buyers and sellers. Under 3 months typically indicates a seller's market. 3 to 6 is your balanced market. Over 6 is when you are full blown, you are in a buyer's market like no other. That's why they say like 5 months is kind of like that sweet spot. Now, the bottom line, county level data provides context, but micro market strategy wins everywhere. And that's what I was saying earlier. Every house is different. Every situation is different. Every location is different. Neighborhoods, school districts, like streets, property conditions, everything that you could think of could potentially change the whole outcome of a pricing of a situation and everything in between. The 2 notes that I do want you to know, though, is Lorain. This is where you get the most leverage across all 4 counties. Summit is going to have the tightest supplies when it comes to it. But what does it actually mean for you as a buyer? Conditions have shifted, and it's in your favor compared to recent years. Now, is it in your favor to the full extent? Absolutely not. Is there some homes to where it's not in your favor at all? Absolutely yes. Situational. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's a little chaotic. But understanding exactly how to do this in a strategic manner is where you are going to win. So there are more options available. Inventory levels have increased compared to last year, so you do get more choices, which is fantastic. Some instances, though, you still don't have that much time to really think on writing an offer on a house. Negotiating power varies. I should have put in there dramatically, because it is on location, property condition, pricing. Move-in ready homes are still super tight and command those premiums. Dated properties, on the other hand, that is your biggest opportunity. So if you're okay with renovating a house, doing some, updates to it, you are going to win big time on the dated properties. Strategic opportunities, those stale listings, the price reductions, that's where stuff is really going to come in. If you see like a massive price reduction of like $25,000, sometimes you'll see one for $40,000. That is a huge green flag for you. Property sitting on the market for 60 plus days, motivated sellers more often than not at that point. And that's where you could start negotiating some stuff and see what is possible. Now, preparation over speed is the proper way to do this. Get the pre-approval, understand your true budget, taxes, insurance, everything. Understand the budget that you are comfortable with. And make sure, if you're not working with me or you don't decide to work with me, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But make sure you have an agent who knows how to give you that winning offer, protects your interest to the full extent, such as giving you all the risks behind doing an appraisal gap, having you get a home inspection. Little things like that is how we protect your interests. But if you're selling, what does it mean for you? Well, it's a little bit different than in the past. First and foremost, days of overpricing, receiving multiple offers are largely behind us. Not saying that you can't receive multiple offers, because you very well can. But reaching for the stars is not going to work in this market at all. No matter how sought after your property could be, it's just not going to work. Success now demands strategy, preparation, and realistic expectations about both pricing and timeline. If you're not being told the honest truth about every little detail, there is a situation that you need to maybe take a step back and really ponder on to see what is going to be the right strategy for you. Pricing is the big key. Your list price determines your buyer pool, days on market, ultimate sale price. Price it aggressively from day one. Chasing the market down through multiple reductions damages your negotiating position and costs you money. Overpricing will punish you big time. They're informed, they're selective when it comes to the buyers. Overpriced homes, they're going to sit, they're going to accumulate, they're going to sell for less. It's going to give you a bad taste in your mouth. You're going to be upset. You're going to be angry. You're going to be stressed, is what is going to come about from it. And it's just not going to be an overall good experience when you're selling your home. And chances are it's something that you're doing because you need to and you're excited to sell it. So you should be excited. The presentation, matters tremendously. When the buyers have options, home condition and presentation is what is going to impact the sale price and the time on market. I cannot stress professional photography enough. It drives me nuts seeing agents taking photos with their phones. Professional photography statistically is proven to net you possibly up to $12,000 more and up to a 32% faster sale. That's just how it is. Decluttering, another big one. Minor repairs, staging. These are not really optional anymore. And when I say really, I'm talking like decluttering, minor repairs, those aren't optional. Staging, hit or miss. But I still recommend to stage if your house is empty. And this is going to give you that return that you want. This is going to help sell the house that much faster. And the launch matters the most. First 2 weeks on market generate the most activity and highest offer. That's why I always stress that the first 2 weeks are critical. And if you overprice it, you're going to lose those buyers, almost all of them, because they won't look back at the house or they'll find another property. A strong launch with the proper pricing, professional marketing, and home preparation will get you the maximum buyer attention, and there is no do-overs, which ultimately, less stress, more exciting time for you to move on to the next chapter of your life. Now, what I am watching next is exactly what is going on here. The spring inventory shifts, the rate moves and buyer response, the list versus sold price gap, the market tightening signals. I am keeping an eye on all of that to make sure that it is going to be good to go. Because at the end of the day, it's very dynamic of a real estate market. And understanding this is what helps me help you when it all boils down to it. So I got to keep track of all this stuff that is coming up, what is going to be happening in the next couple months, because there could be a little bit of chaos in a sense for the spring market, but we'll see how it actually goes as we get into next month. But again, if you want this full market report just to look over, I'm happy to get it to you. As you can see, I accidentally messed up some stuff here. That's just saying, just put report in the comments below. I will get this over to you so you can take a look at it. You could have the numbers. And if you want to go and discuss your specific situation, I have people just like you that reach out to me every single week. Here is my personal number. It's 440-364-7823. And we could just look at a few different things like where you are looking to buy or sell, your timeline, your flexibility, your goals, any concerns about the current market condition. And ultimately, like whether you're buying or selling, finding out if, it's even the right time for you to do so, because sometimes it's not the right time and you can hold off for a little bit, and that's okay. But I'll break all this stuff down. And if you want something that is more about your home, your neighborhood, again, just call or text me and just give me a couple, different parameters of what you're looking for, like where it's at, and just simply say, hey, Anthony, I'm not looking for anything specific. I just want a market report for my area. Great. I'll gladly send that over to you. And if you're new to my channel or you haven't already, be sure to click subscribe and turn notifications on, because I got a ton of great videos from market reports to new builds, everything in between that'll be coming your way.